Hey guys, welcome to Indianapolis, Indiana, home of the 2016 NMRA National Train Show. Little known fact is my hometown is not far from here, so it's great to be back home here in Indianapolis, and I love the area. So we'll cover great things here at the show. There's lots of new announcements from several manufacturers. You'll get to see the layouts in the show, and all in a concise, short video. It shouldn't be more than 35 or 40 minutes. So please enjoy the time here in Indianapolis if you can't make it, and enjoy the sights and sounds here at the National Train Show. Let's get started. So we're here first with Doug Blaine of Bachmann Trains, and he's got a lot of exciting products that they have available coming up soon. Doug, there's lots of cool stuff coming from Bachmann. You want to tell us about some of the items?
Surely. Welcome to the Bachmann booth. Thanks for visiting. Cool. We have an HO scale PCC trolley that's sound equipped and also has a sparking trolley pole. We have a brand new N scale GG1 sound and non-sound versions. And we have a Pacific in HO scale that's also sound equipped. And just as I know some of your viewers have seen our Easy App trains before that are operable from their smartphones, but today at the show we're announcing that we now have an Android version for Easy App as well. So that's big news for us.
That's good. That's good, Doug, because I happen to have a gigantic Android phone myself. So
beautiful.
Let's take a
good use.
Yeah, let's take a closer look at some of these items and see what you guys have in store.
All right, I'd just like to show you our PCC trolley with the sparking trolley pole. I'm going to get it going, and when it reaches a certain voltage, the trolley pole will spark. And I'm also going to give you a sound effect here. There you go. I don't know if you got that spark on camera. And here's the horn for it. We'll do this when it comes around again. A little bit faster. There's another good spark for you. So that just adds some interest and excitement to the layout and a little bit different for a PCC trolley. Okay, here's our N-scale GG1. We have two versions, one standard and one with DCC sound. It has operating pantographs. The sound will also have a sound effect for the retraction and extension of the pantograph, horn, bell, all those good things. And these will be coming out later this year. So we're getting a lot of good excitement from the N-scale fans for the GG1 from Bachmann. This is our USRA Light Pacific, and we've had a non-sound version of this before, so now this is sound value equipped. It has authentic prototypical chuff, short and long whistles, bell, air pump, steam release, and blower. That's all in 16-bit polyphonic sound. And we expect this to be out in November of 2016, so that'll be out before Christmas.
So we're here at the Athearn booth with Chris Palomares from Athearn, obviously, and we're going to talk about some of the items they have coming up soon, some new deco samples they have. Chris, what's cracking over at Athearn?
Well, we're really excited to debut the Z8 Challenger, the 4664 Challenger. It's coming in Northern Pacific and SP&S. Brand new tooling on the tender, a lot of the smoke box, the cab. The drivers has some of the NP specific details. We're also going over to the GP40P-2. That's a brand new model in our Genesis line, featuring the Bicentennial, and then it's also available in red and gray at Southern Pacific. And then finally, we have the N-scale tank train, and early and late.
Let's go take a look at the N-scale tank train.
Okay, what we have for the N-scale tank train is we have some vinyl flexible hoses that get inserted between the ends, and we have the early scheme and the late. And what's depicted here is the late scheme, and you can tell the late style because it has the longer connecting pipe between the cars. It also has a solid rail by the manways. And it has body-mounted couplers, and that's becoming more of a new feature for N-scale.
Body-mounted couplers, all the craze with N-scale as things progress down the line and advance with new N-scale technologies. Thanks, Chris, for your time. Thanks for all your contributions at Athearn. Great job so far. I know it's been, what now, a year and a half since you've been?
It's been over 2 years now.
Over 2. So yeah, we're norming to Chris Palomares, and he's doing an awesome job. So we look forward to great things from you guys. And we'll continue with live coverage here of the National Train Show with a lot of other manufacturers and some layouts coming up.
Thanks for watching, guys.
So here's a quick sneak peek at the SDP40F. And this is just a 3D print. So that's one thing at Athearn we forgot to cover. So hopefully you enjoy this little look at the very first physical product of this model.
Might stop on and yell all of a sudden because of the frog on the switch here.
So we're here at the Scale Trains booth with Paul Ellis of Scale Trains. Paul, we've got a new announcement from Scale Trains, the SD40-2, is that right?
That's correct.
What all does this new model entail?
Well, as you mentioned today, we announced the EMD SD40-2 series. In particular, our first run will include models in the Rivet Counter series. As you can see here, we have a Norfolk Southern Admiral Cab version. The Admiral Cab is Norfolk Southern's rebuilt version that includes a whole new cab, short hood, with a lot of design features to increase crew comfort and safety. They've been taking a lot of older SD40-2s, both like former Southern high hood units and secondhand units they purchased, and totally rehabbed them, including mounted that new cab design on there, along with front and rear anti-climbers, ditch lights, and a lot of other safety and mechanical improvements. And yeah, this is all new model, all new from the ground up. We hope we're billing it as the definitive US SD40-2. A lot of details, a lot of road-specific detailing. Like you can see on the Norfolk Southern version, the front and rear ditch lights that will operate, LED lighting, operating number boards, see-through fans, see-through dynamic brake intakes with the resistor grids behind there, MU cables with the dummy receptacles, MU hoses. A Norfolk Southern version. You flip it around here, you can see a little better. They relocated the handbrake to the side of the long hood toward the rear right there. You can see they mounted a end-of-train device holder on the truck side frame, brake stick holder, another Norfolk Southern unique detail that's unique to those units. Spare knuckles on the rear pilot. We try to go all out. Cab interior, etched sunshades, see-through steps in the corners, correct truck centers, and yeah, underbody detailing. You name it, we got it.
So Paul, it sounds like I'm going to have to be reviewing this video to do my review on this, to remember all that stuff that you just blotted off the top of your head. I wish I had your knowledge, man. But it looks like NS and BNSF will be the first out the gate, right?
Yes, the Norfolk Southern is going to kick off the Rivet Counter line, and we'll be getting samples soon for Norfolk Southern, as you see here. Burlington Northern will also be done. Chassis system, Southern Railway with the high short hood, which is a really unique feature, and Union Pacific versions that are post-80 versions with the exhaust silencer and Q fans for the radiator. And for the BNSF, as you can see, we've got, that's part of what we call our operator series. That's a simplified version, lower price point, not quite as much detailing, to help keep the price down and make it more attractive to younger folks and folks on a budget. And for the operator series, we'll be offering it in BNSF, as you see there, CSX in the YN3 scheme, Norfolk Southern Horsehead, and Union Pacific.
So lots of great schemes coming up in this new announcement. You also have your Big Below turbines, which are nearing the pre-order deadline, or have they already passed that?
I believe the pre-order deadline has passed. We have sold out a pretty good number, but I think still have some available if folks want to order.
And the water tender is my personal favorite, along with my cameraman's. Now, you did tick off about a lot of SD60E fans, including my cameraman as well, but hopefully we'll see that come down the line from somebody in the near future. That is an awesome NS staple as well. All right, well, that wraps it up here at the Scale Trains booth. Thanks, Paul, for your time.
Thank you, James. Appreciate it.
We'll see the rest of the National Train Show continuing on.
All right. Thanks.
So one thing Paul forgot to mention is the N-scale turbine. Now they've taken all the HO quality turbine specs and really shrunk it down to size in this N-scale version. Very cool. It's going to have sound. It's going to be in rivet counter line and a very nice detailed N-scale version of the big blow turbine coming out from Scale Trains as well. Hey guys, a surprise, something completely unexpected here at the National Train Show. Lionel kind of getting back into HO scale with a HO scale Polar Express. And I've got Ryan Kunkel here from Lionel.
Great to meet you.
Thanks, and could you tell us more about this HO scale rendition of the Polar Express?
Sure. The Polar Express has been a real winner for us in both O and S gauges. And so we wanted to bring it down to the HO world. So we're coming out, it'll be out later this year, in time for Christmas. Be separate sale locomotive and passenger cars. They'll work on all existing track systems and with all existing control systems.
Cool.
Of course, conventional DC power pack. Also has DCC on board.
Yeah.
And the really cool part is it also has our Lion Chief remote control system in there as well. So it'll include its own remote, which will operate by Bluetooth. And if you download the app off of Lionel.com, you can also run it with your smartphone or tablet. So whether smartphone, the handheld remote, which is really kid-friendly, or with DCC, you've got all sorts of options to run the train.
Is that Apple and Android?
Apple and Android will be coming with that, yep.
Awesome. So let's take a look at this model and we'll let you talk about some of the features.
Sure. So all new tooling, of course, obviously. Scale proportion Berkshire, though we have kept the details somewhat simplified to sort of keep it more evocative of the train in the book and the movie, as people sort of come to expect from the Polar Express. Very smooth running motor, very nice slow speed operation. Just start her up here on speed step 1 for you here. Does have, of course, sounds, steam sounds, chuffing, whistle, bell. And then also recorded sounds from the movie. So that's all controllable through your DCC remote or the Lion Chief remote as well. Forward, reverse, bell, whistle, so forth. Directional headlighting, speed control, momentum, the whole 9 yards. Our electronics also plug into a standard DCC 9-pin socket, so if you wanted to take that out and put in a Tsunami or something like that, you could do so very easily. The passenger cars all feature LED lighting, metal wheels, knuckle couplers. Couplers are truck mounted, but there are boxes in there as well if you want to body mount the couplers.
Those are individual purchase, so you can buy as many as you want?
As many as you want. We'll do a 3-pack of passenger cars, which includes the observation car, a coach, and the abandoned toy car. And then the hot chocolate car and additional coaches will be available separate sale with more to come down the road.
Cool. So I'm going to put you on the spot here, Ryan. Is this the precursor to Lionel entering HO again?
It very well could be. A lot of this will depend on the response to this, and we are exploring lots of different options into getting into HO in a larger way as we move forward.
Awesome. Lionel, an American staple in model railroading. So it's great to see you guys back in HO, me being primarily an HO scale modeler. This puts a big smile on my face. We're looking at Christmas of this year, or?
Christmas of this year for delivery of the first trains.
That's pretty robust. So. I found that the old Rolex couplers and the American Pulse couplers are not as compatible. They work, but it becomes a bit of a...
Hey guys, we're here at the Model Railroader booth. I have the legendary Neil Basugalov to talk about some stuff that is coming out from Kalmbach and Model Railroader. So Neil, what do we have?
All right, James. Model Railroader has been going around. 1934 was our first issue. How many have we done? Well, next April will be 1,000. So if you had a stack of these, if you said, I have all the model railroaders going back to day one, you're going to have 1,000 of them by next April. So we've got a special issue planned. It's still a little bit in the works, but we're going to have some special layout features, a couple interesting stories. It'll be 1,000 magazines. So we're going to throw ourselves a little party in a sense. This is next April's issue, which actually comes out in the month of March. So that's what we have on the horizon, other than the usual stuff about like Great Model Railroads comes out in the fall, and Model Railroad Planning comes out in the winter, and of course the monthly issues as well.
You're missing your MR Video Plus guys. They're around here somewhere. You got MR Video Plus.
They are walking around right now, just like you are, talking to folks, interviewing people, and Cody's here, the usual suspects.
Yeah.
So
we'll have to catch up with them later. But it's always great to.
You guys need to interview each other. So.
It's always great to catch up with you, Neil. And one question I have this time is there any 1,000 bundling where I can get all 1,000 magazines at once?
For you, yes, and we'll send them straight to your home.
Sure, okay, sure. I'll have to pay shipping. That'll break my wallet.
Yeah, that's free. The magazines are free. You pay shipping. So.
All right, well, we'll continue on with more coverage here. Thanks, Neil, for your time.
Oh, you're welcome.
Enjoy the show.
You're welcome. Always. Good to see you guys.
So we're here with Ken Silvestri of Broadway Limited. Before we start, I gotta say, Ken's one of my favorite people. You have so much energy for what you do and bringing stuff to the market. And as usual, Broadway Limited is cutting edge with more new products. One of the first times I've seen the Thunder and Lightning set, what's it called? The
Thunder and Lightning.
Yeah, it's kind of a prototype version coming out here. So Ken, you want to tell us about that?
It's maybe one of the most favorite things I've ever made, that Broadway's ever made. And it works in two ways, where you can press the button and you get a lightning strike right away. I'll do that. And there's two sets of these. And then there's a program that runs between 0 and 5 minutes. And in that program, the storm will build, it'll peak, and then it'll dissipate. And there's lightning strikes all through that. There's dogs barking in the background, and there's a screen door kind of slamming, kind of like you would in Kansas or somewhere. But it adds great depth to a train layout.
That is awesome. Another interesting item that you guys are thinking outside the box on you. So we're here at Model Railroad Hobbyist booth here at the train show, and I've got Joe Fugate, MRH's lead man, and he's got some exciting publication that has just released. You want to tell us what this is about, Joe?
Okay, sure. Well, this is a book that's available both in ebook form as well as hard copy form. We're starting to make all of our ebooks available in hard copy form because we know that some people just like the feel of a real book. So this particular book's about acrylic painting, and this came out of a felt need. With Floquil and Polyscale, testers discontinued that line. There's a lot of questions about, well, what do I use in place of that? And so I actually talked to testers, and they were very supportive of this, sent us a full line of Model Master paints. And then Micromark sent Microlux, which is Vallejo is the formula that's used for that. And there's also Vallejo paints and, of course, Badger Modelflex. So we've gone and mapped 72 of the Polyscale Floquil colors to these various paint lines. So people are like, oh, great, this is exactly what I've been looking for. Now I know how to get concrete or grimy black or SP Scarlet or whatever. And there's also hints and tips in the back: brush painting, airbrushing, mixing your own thinners,
so on. So I've given a clinic that goes with this book here, and the clinic was like, the room was packed. So again, it's a very felt need. People really looking for this stuff.
Yeah, lots of interest in that, Joe. For $15, done a great service to help modelers out with the paint needs.
One guy's having more fun watching. The guy's sitting there watching the cricket play. One guy in the blocker. He's sitting there watching them talking.
So we're here at the Atlas booth with Bobby Allard from Atlas, and he's going to tell us about some cool stuff coming out from Atlas, including the New Jersey Transit locomotives and passenger cars and some other neat items Atlas has in store. So Bobby, what all is coming from Atlas here in the near future?
Well, the newest thing we have is the ALP 45 DP, which is a dual mode electric. You can see the pantograph, and diesel mode. It's got two Caterpillar locomotive motors in there. This is a new locomotive for us. New Jersey Transit owns it, and one of the features of it is it'll have sound and it'll be non-sound. We recorded the sounds from the real locomotive about a couple weeks ago with permission from New Jersey Transit. And hold on, one of the cool features is the pantograph will work. I might have to B-roll this one. So one of the neat features is the pantograph will work. And it's the modern pantograph you see now. Another item we have is the U33 and the U36B. As you can tell, we'll have the correct phases and the correct nose headlights. So certain locomotives will have the nose Mars light, or the red and the headlight. Some won't. They'll have the correct trucks, the Blomberg or the AARs. Another locomotive we have coming out is the retooled GP7. So you can tell that we'll have the correct fuel tanks depending on what road name you pick out. Other models we have is new for the GP40-2 and all models down the road. We'll have the correct type of horns, so we'll have the correct horn casting. This is an RS5T. It'll be correct to the road name. And for the chassis fans, of course, we have the ever popular and famous K5 LA, all bells forward. And for surprise here is FEC. They have the dual horns in the front and the rear. So we'll be using the horns in the rear and the front, and also the BLMA air conditioners, the RV style. Where appropriate, they'll be thrown onto them. And finally, I'm going to bring you back to the ALP 45 DP. Here is once again the decorated model and the cars. So you'll have a trailer car with a toilet, trailer car without a toilet, and the cab car. Obviously, down the road they'll be decorated, but for right now we have the three cars. And then if you want to hear a quick sound bite, this is an electric mode.
So pretty cool for those folks that model the Northeast Corridor. And you guys have also recently acquired BLMA, so I see some BLMA items like we talked about, the air conditioning. You've got your BLMA signs there, and you just released those flower hoppers from BLMA, right?
Yes, the PDs.
Yep, so awesome stuff. Hopefully we see some good stuff from BLMA. The acquisition of Atlas, or BLMA by Atlas, so hopefully you see some great stuff coming from you guys for whatever Craig at BLMA had planned. So,
and we got some surprises along the way too.
Awesome. So we look forward to great things from Atlas, and we look forward to these items that are on the way out as well. Thanks for your time, Bobby, and appreciate it, and hopefully you enjoy the show.
Yes, thank you.
nod your head or something, does he nod? Is that what he does? He nods his head. Is that that's what happened now?
We're low tech here.
Okay, everybody, it's YouTube. I'm right here with James Wright, YouTube model railroad sensation. Model railroad sensation, James Wright, and he wants me to give him the microphone because he says I can't work it properly.
Again, low tech, Lionel. I gotta keep this stupid little button on.
Is that what it is? The button keeps.
It's a button.
All right. So anyway, James, what's the most exciting thing you've seen so far?
I'd have to say the Lionel re-entrance into HO scale. Not Lionel.
Not Lionel.
Lionel, HO scale, Polar Express by the famed company that's been around for years. They're getting back in HO. That was the most surprising and, frankly, the most exciting to me so far.
So what do you when you review it? When you walk up to something? This is what the people want to know. Here's what the people really want to know about James. You walk up to the HO Polar Express by Lionel, not Lionel, Lionel, and you see it, and you're thinking, I'm going to review this. Was the first thing you kind of thought, I'm not sure about that part? Was there something about it that or was it cool, or was it cool right off the bat, and you're thinking, when I get this, it's going to be cool?
I think the first thing that was highly anticipated was the MTH SD70 ACE back in 2009 when I started, but I had no clue what I was talking about. You look back at that video, and I told people from the get-go, I'm just going to call it how I see it, but I didn't know any parts. I barely knew what the horn was, but getting into the hobby and starting videos as I got into the hobby, that's what I was kind of stuck with.
Yeah, exactly. And so now when you see stuff like the Lionel Polar Express, you're like, oh, this is going to be cool. So now will they send that to you?
I don't know. Maybe. It depends on what's going on. It's a mixed bag. I haven't, obviously with the Lionel being O scale, I haven't dealt with them much, so we'll see. But I buy stuff. I have a budget to do so, and I have appropriated funds to do so. It's not as messed up as Congress is to do so, but I just budget once a year and set aside money and buy what I need to when I need to. So,
do you have enough money to buy me a hot dog?
Yeah, maybe a steak tonight.
Okay. Whoa, a steak tonight. All right, let's stop right there because I'm having dinner with James tonight. How cool is that going to be? Can I sit beside you?
Yeah.
Oh, this is getting better. Can we have a beer?
Yep.
I'm going to stop talking.
Beer's on the menu, so we'll have one.
I'm going to leave that.
At old St. Elmo Steakhouse.
Is that where we're going?
Yep. Best place in Indy.
St. Elmo Steakhouse. How far away from here is it?
It's going to be 1 block.
One block. This is getting better and better. I am so excited to meet you. People are so lucky to have James Wright on the scene. All right, I'm leaving now.
That was Lionel Strang. Check out his Modeler's Life podcast. Great to see Lionel here doing what we do, which is wandering the halls and seeing all the great stuff.
That's kind of weighing my current 1.5 now. So even 1.5. It's really not the correct thing because I do have some Wisconsin Southern or Wisconsin Central. But I don't have anything strong enough. So I got to get real on the floor.
So we're here at the Bowser booth with Lee English from Bowser, the guy that runs everything at Bowser. He's the man behind the curtains.
Yeah, a little bit.
And we've got some stuff coming out from Bowser here, in the next several months to a year?
Oh, yes. We have, actually, I have many projects building up for the next several years of HO locomotives. Right now we're doing in our own shop and also the mold shop about 30 miles away. We're making the Alco RS3 Phase 3. We're going to do many different versions of that, and then we're going to go right into chop noses and hammerheads and rebuilds. But the only thing we're not going to do is Phase 1. That's already done. Atlas does a pretty nice job. Athearn does a good job. Bachmann has a very nice one. So we'll just let that go. We're also doing a lot of Canadian engines, like the SD50-2F, which they refer to as the Big Red Barn.
Yeah.
We just got samples of that. We're going to make some minor changes, and then that'll be on the market hopefully early next year. Right behind the 40-2F is the Canadian M636, which was an Alco derivative of their very classic 600 series locomotive. And we're that's being molded in our own shop, and then we're going to send the bodies off to China to have them all painted and decorated, and the latest electronics and operating class lights and all those items. But other than that, I've got, I think I have 8 other locomotives that we're either measuring or going to have made. So
go ahead and fill us in on all those right now. I'm just kidding.
That's okay. Actually, a lot of them are well known, but
got to keep it under wraps a little bit.
Only a little bit. I don't tend to keep many secrets.
Yeah.
I like to ask model railroaders for any kind of help they can give. We had excellent help from the Pennsylvania Historical Society on the RS3, and the L&N Historical Society has been absolutely wonderful. We're going to make a special, make sure that the L&N is done properly with weird headlights and everything. So I'm not ready to retire yet, unless somebody walks in with enough money.
Well, on the end of not enough money, this is going to wrap this up on my end anyway. So thanks, Lee, for your time, and I hope
James, thanks a lot for being a video guy, and I do watch them, and you do a great job.
Well, thank you.
You guys have a safe trip home. You too.
Guys, we've got Intermountain ES44 ACs coming out. A lot of different paint schemes, including City Rail, Florida East Coast. You've got the GE Demo and Iowa Interstate. These are decorated samples of those coming out here shortly, I believe in August or September. We are headed back from the National Train Show, going back to my hometown, just 20 minutes outside of Indy here. And it was a really great show. One thing I do want to mention is shows like this, being able to attend shows like this is made possible by my sole sponsor, trainworld.com. You can shop online there basically 24/7, so be sure to check those guys out. I really appreciate their support, and it allows me to go to more shows and do things that I normally wouldn't do. You guys drive the demand for these shows. That's why you're getting to see this video before a lot of people even attend the show. So it's great to be able to do so. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the visit here to Indianapolis and the National Train Show 2016. We'll see you next time right here on my channel. Take care.